Tanya Memme, and this is Best Vacations from Canada. I'm about to take you on a spectacular train ride through the Rocky Mountains on the Rocky Mountaineer. Bordered by an ocean and set against the backdrop of the Coast Mountains, Vancouver, Canada is considered one of the most beautiful cities. It's also our starting point for the journey I want to take you on through the Rocky Mountains. It's a bright and early start to my first full day in Canada. After a good night's rest at Vancouver's Fairmont Waterfront Hotel, it's time to board the Rocky Mountaineer. Named by National Geographic as one of the world's greatest trips, it's also a multi-winner of the World Travel Awards, the Oscars of the travel industry. And serving as my personal tour guide, the main man himself, the president and CEO, Randy Powell.
Welcome.
Thank you. We're about to go on this incredible journey today, right?
It is going to be spectacular. We will see iconic scenery, incredible food,
Animals?
And the service, wildlife like you wouldn't believe. And the food, to die for.
We love food.
All
Looking
right.
forward to that Canadian maple syrup, Randy.
We will deliver.
Yes. I'm all checked in and ready to board. And I get the ceremonial privilege of blasting the horn to signal the all aboard call. Rocky Mountaineer offers its guests 4 breathtaking rail journeys through British Columbia and Alberta. Vancouver to Whistler, 2 routes to Jasper, and the 2-day journey I'm taking to Banff. Waving farewell, we roll away from the platform, navigating our way toward the outskirts of Vancouver. As we cross Fraser Swing Bridge, we begin our ascent into the spectacular Coast Mountains. On our route, there are 3 different levels of service. Red Leaf service, a classic rail experience, Silver Leaf, which is a single-level dome coach, and Gold Leaf service. This award-winning service is beyond compare. Each Gold Leaf car features a large open-air vestibule, perfect for viewing and taking photos. The car itself features a bi-level design. The upper level features a panoramic glass dome roof. Downstairs is where we find gourmet a la carte meals created by Rocky Mountaineer's very own executive sous chef, J.P. Guérin.
I'm the executive chef for Rocky Mountaineer, and I create meals for all classes of service: Gold Leaf service, Silver Leaf service, and Red Leaf services as well. Part of the guest experience on Gold Leaf involves a breakfast and a lunch service every day. Our menus are ever changing. Every season we have new offerings, we have new products that are coming in. We source local product as much as possible. We use the Western Canadian flair, Western Canadian cuisine, and Western Canadian product in the creation of all our menus.
Gourmet food, I'm ready for breakfast.
There you go, Tanya.
Wow, you even have caviar.
Caviar, caviar. There you go, sir.
Wonderful, JP. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Enjoy your
Oh,
breakfast.
I will. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
This is amazing. Look at
Isn't
this.
it?
Ah.
Do you know that
Yes.
JP is actually a Michelin accredited chef, as you can tell, and he has a team of 80 culinary staff on board. 80.
There's 80.
Yes.
And are they divided? Do they cook for the entire
There are
train?
3 per coach per Gold Leaf Dome.
Right? Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
this is top-notch service here.
The best.
So far today's been a very exciting day. I met Randy Powell and I met JP, and I mean, the breakfast, first of all, was one of the most amazing breakfasts I've had. This is eggs with lox and caviar. You can't get a whole lot better than that. After breakfast, we make our way to our first overnight stop in Kamloops. A great place to take in the fresh air and witness all the surrounding beauty is the vestibule located at the end of each Gold Leaf domed coach. While rolling through Fraser Canyon, we come across a popular tourist attraction, Hell's Gate. Located at the narrowest part of the mighty Fraser River, the surrounding cliff walls funnel about 200 million gallons of water through this canyon that's only 110 feet wide every single minute. That's twice the volume of Niagara Falls.
The rapids down there are pretty intimidating.
It's incredible. The power of those rapids. It's where the river comes together. It's the smallest pinch point.
Yeah.
So you get that incredible power going through that little amount of space.
And then you have the gondola. Look at the gondola. I love it.
Beautiful.
Simon Fraser arrived here in 1808 and wrote in his journal, "We had to pass where no human beings should venture, for surely we have entered the gates of hell." Continuing our journey through the coast mountains, the scenery becomes even more spectacular.
Okay, I feel like I'm in some kind of surreal world. This doesn't seem real.
From tall pines to flowing streams, rivers, and cascading waterfalls, nature's beauty is on full display in all its glory. One of the major highlights of day one is Cisco Crossing. The bridge is named for Cisco, the anglicized version of Siska, the name of the local First Nations people. Here we see two rail bridges crossing the river at the same location. The black-painted Canadian Pacific Bridge was built in England in the 1880s. The orange-painted Canadian National Bridge is famous for being the largest single-span bridge on the line. Crossing 220 feet above the river, the view is in one word: stunning. But be warned, all this fresh air hanging out on the vestibule will make you hungry. I'm looking forward to seeing what JP is cooking up for lunch.
All right, so what's on the menu for lunch?
Well, we have some mushroom crusted chicken.
Ooh.
You know, so what we'll do, we'll take a little bit of mushroom powder,
Okay, so
right over there.
this is dehydrated mushroom
That's
powder?
dehydrated mushroom powder, yes.
From mushrooms all over Western Canada is what I heard earlier.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it's a mixture of porcinis and shiitakes.
Yeah.
Which we basically going to.
So instead of using bread, which is kind of boring and usual, you
Yes.
use dehydrated mushrooms.
Absolutely.
like
That
that.
mushroom powder has no bread whatsoever.
Nothing.
It's purely 100% mushroom.
Low in calories, healthy.
Yes, very nice.
Okay.
Okay, now
Uh-huh.
we have to fry it. Okay, so we got a little bit of
okay.
oil, so it's
Olive oil.
perfect. Perfect.
Go in there.
And then we gonna give it
A little sizzle.
little sizzle. You know?
What is this dish called when it's done? What's it called?
What do we call it?
Yeah, what's the dish called?
It's mushroom crusted chicken. See? The important thing is to have your pan very hot. You see? So you get the color
Wow.
without sticking.
You're right. And does
Right?
that also help keep the mushrooms on it? 'Cause-
Absolutely. Look at this. Now what we'll do,
Okay, seriously, that would not
It's
look
done.
like that if I did it. That would
and
not.
this, we're gonna finish it.
Okay.
Just give me a second. Thank you
So
very much.
anyway.
We'll put it in the oven. There you go.
And then it cooks, it broils, it bakes,
That
it
is right.
keeps all the juices in.
Perfect.
So you do everything just by going like this and like this and like this and like that.
It's
because
all about
very tight
it's all
quarters.
about space. We take a plate, the plate comes down, the plate is here. We basically have all our food right here. We make the plate goes up to the dining room.
So how many people are you cooking out of this one kitchen alone for any
We
given time?
cook for up to 70 guests with 3 employees in this kitchen, 3 chefs.
3 chefs, 70 guests, all in this small, it's a small
All
kitchen.
breakfast, all snacks, all lunches,
Everything. Wow, that's a lot. That's
That
a lot
is
of
a
food
lot.
going in and out of this kitchen.
Yes, be very careful. It can be hot.
It's hot. It's not that hot. I was exaggerating.
That was just warm.
Okay, yeah, that's warm.
You know, I fly a lot. I've been on this train today for at least 6 hours, and I just wanted to go on and on and on and on forever. And you know, when you fly, people just don't feel that way. No, they don't feel that way. As we drift through Western Canada, I recognize a kind of tranquility, as if disconnecting. It's easy to see why many say this journey is much more than a vacation. Randy shares with me a very personal story.
So I'd like to tell you a little story about why Rocky Mountaineer is the creator of life-changing experiences.
I would love to hear your story.
My father-in-law, after about a year with the company, my father-in-law came out for a trip. Now, he's a very guarded, reserved man, so isn't big on the social side. Doesn't really want to make a lot of new friends. He came out on the train, 2-day trip in from Calgary, Banff, and then ultimately to Vancouver. When he hit Vancouver, his daughter, my wife Tina, and I were looking up, standing outside of the coach, worried about what he might be like when he got off the train. So we look and we wait, and virtually everybody gets off the train. Finally, I see this one man at the far end of the coach, and he's very animated and talking and hugging people, and I'm going, geez, is that your dad, Tina? And well, as it turns out, it was her dad. He came down, he went down the spiral staircase. When he got down to the vestibule, there were 2 more Rocky Mountaineer hosts down there, and he hugged them. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, has he been drinking?
Wow.
So anyhow, he gets off the train, goes over, hugs his daughter, and then came over to me, and for the first time in the 25 years I've been married to his daughter, he came over and he gave me a great big hug, and when he did, he whispered in my ear, "Thank you for giving me a trip of a lifetime." It was unbelievable.
Wow, I mean, to know that you can actually change somebody's life to that extent it's a pretty big deal, Randy. That's a touching story.
You know, the magic in it was, I always thought that we were the ones that created life-changing experiences for them.
Right.
It happened for both of us. It changed our relationship forever.
Really?
It really did.
At the confluence of the Fraser and Thompson Rivers, we begin our transition from mountain vistas to the arid interior Thompson Plateau. One of our first indicators are Rainbow Canyon and Avalanche Alley. Rainbow Canyon derived its name from the dramatic array of colors reflected in the rocks. When iron, copper, and sulfur are exposed to oxygen due to avalanches and other natural events, the newly exposed minerals provide their own hue when oxidized. Copper, for example, turns green and purple.
So we went from a rainforest, we went from a city, downtown Vancouver, into the rainforest, and into the slight, Rocky Mountains with snow-capped mountains, and now all of a sudden, I mean, it feels like it's about 90 degrees and really dry. The air is dry, and now we're in a desert.
Absolutely. And then tomorrow we'll go back into the mountains and into the big mountains, and it'll be much cooler.
Because we're going to be going up and up.
We will
right?
we'll be going up.
Wow.
A desert in Canada? Who knew? Well, thanks to JP, we get to enjoy a dessert in the desert in Canada.
Just another day on the Rocky Mountaineer.
Just another day in the Rocky Mountaineer, exactly.
You go first.
Wow. I've never stood up in a train eating dessert like this, but I gotta tell you, I kind of like it.
Don't blink, you might wake up.
I know. I won't. My eyeballs are glued open. I am not blinking. I am not going to blink ever.
Why have you become Eastern European all of a sudden?
I don't know.
Continuing our journey, we find a significant natural landmark, the Hoodoos, which is located on the Thompson Plateau. The First Nations people actually use hoodoo to describe any evil supernatural force. In mythology, these hoodoos were supposed giants from whom the Great Spirit turned to stone because of their evil ways. My first day on the Rocky Mountaineer draws to a close as we near the town of Kamloops. Greeting us on arrival are the Kamloops Mountain Patrol.
So we just arrived at our halfway point on our way to Banff. This is where we're all going to be spending the night.
Inhabited by shoe-shop tribes for 7,000 years, Kamloops has gone through various phases of trading, from fur to gold to cattle. Known as the tournament capital of Canada, today the main industries are railroad, logging, and the farming of ginseng and alfalfa. Wow, ginseng in Canada? Who knew?
Well, I just had a restful night at the Coast Hotel here in Kamloops, and now I'm on my way to get back on the train. We're going to Banff and Lake Louise.
What better way to begin the next part of our adventure than a champagne toast with our fellow passengers?
Oh, thanks, Randy. All right, I'd like to make a toast to new memories, new friends, a trip of a lifetime, and to Rocky Mountaineer. Cheers!
Rocky Mountaineer!
One of my favorite experiences traveling on the Rocky Mountaineer is the opportunity to mingle with other passengers from all over the world. They have so many incredible stories to tell.
Tell me, why are you guys here?
Oh, well, this is actually my daughter's graduation.
So you have mom and dad.
Celebration.
You're on your honeymoon.
Yep.
So whose idea was it to come on the Rocky Mountaineer?
Well, my parents have actually done it, and
Right.
and I've never been overseas before, and And you've never
Canada.
seen snow?
And I've never seen snow. So Canada was one of the places that we really wanted to visit.
And how's it been?
It's been amazing.
You're meeting some wonderful people.
That's right.
You know, I've met some lovely people from England, from Australia, from Houston, Texas. It's been wonderful.
People who had heard of it that we knew of had thought it was just like a way to transport from one part of the country to the other.
Right.
But it's not an actual tour, right? And that's
Right.
that's what it is. It's amazing.
A deluxe vacation.
Yeah.
So what on the trip stands out most?
Actually, I'd probably say the friends we've met, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the people. It's the people you're with.
And the way we've
make
been able
the trip.
to actually gel together so quickly. The crew on here have been absolutely fantastic, and they've just been so wonderful in being able to meet our every need and go with the flow, as we say in Aussie.
Aussie! Oi! Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Oi, oi, oi! Aussie! Oi! That's it.
So Randy, I know you've taken this trip at least 25, 30 times. What would you say is your favorite part of the trip?
I think most people expect me to talk about one of the landmarks, and there certainly are amazing, iconic landmarks.
Right, there are a lot of them.
We saw Hell's Gate yesterday. We'll see the spiral tunnels today. It's awe-inspiring. It's quite gorgeous. But I would say my favorite part is actually the people that you meet on the trip.
I understand that, and I think I would have to agree with you there.
You know, people come from all over the world. They come from India, they come from China, they come from Australia, they come from the United States, they come from everywhere, and they bring a different perspective.
That's true.
As they look at Canada, I'm so proud as a Canadian to show them our Rocky Mountains.
Yes, I agree with you.
It's not long before we reach another major landmark, Craigellachie. Canada's first Prime Minister, Sir John A. Macdonald, wanted a transcontinental railroad, and on November 7, 1885, at 9:22 a.m., Donald Smith fulfilled that wish by driving the last spike which joined and completed the Canadian Pacific Railway. Continuing our journey, we cross many bridges of various size and length, and spanning 480 feet, the Stony Creek Bridge is the highest the Rocky Mountaineer will cross on this trip. What a way to travel! 5-star views, 5-star food, 5-star service. Okay, I am officially spoiled.
So Randy, how do you make the magic happen? I mean, with this extremely difficult job that you have.
Well, it's hard work.
It is, I can tell.
But there are 4 components that kind of come together to make the magic of the Rocky Mountain.
It's like a formula, right?
It is kind of a formula.
Okay.
So we call them the 4 S's. The first S is, of course, the stunning scenery, the setting by which the train travels through. The second S is the sweet and savory, the culinary experience that each of our guests gets to experience.
With the touch of JP, right?
Absolutely.
Love it.
The third is, of course, the service.
Service. That's true.
Second to none, world-class service. And then it all gets tied together really with the guests and the Rocky Mountaineer hosts, the social side.
That's true. You're right.
The magic is when it all comes together. Sometimes a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that.
Right.
And each and every coach or trip is a little different. But every time it comes out with really an experience of a lifetime.
So the 4 S's is magic.
It is. Rocky Mountaineer magic.
Rocky Mountaineer magic.
I'll toast to that.
I'll toast to that too.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Another great feat of railway engineering are the spiral tunnels located just outside the town of Field. In 1884, a 4.5% grade track connected the Big Hill with the base of Mount Stephen. Due to the steep grade, the very first train down the Big Hill derailed. In the early 1900s, in order to improve safety by lessening the grade, engineers created a spiral tunnel system. Blasting their way through 2 mountains, the project was completed on September 1st, 1909. The engineering was so precise that when workers from both sides met in the middle, they found the tunnels came together with an error less than 2 centimeters.
This countryside is so beautiful. I mean, I'm Canadian. I've been here many, many times, but I've never ever seen Western Canada from this perspective. You just lay back in the lap of luxury. You eat the most glorious food you've ever tasted, and I mean, look at the scenery. It's absolutely spectacular. Randy, your team, your staff, you have a well-oiled machine going on here. I mean, sorry, pardon the pun. But it's interesting because you feel like you're being completely pampered, but it's not too much in a way where it gets a little bit annoying. You know what I mean? So you need them when they're there, and then they're all of a sudden not there when you don't need them, but yet when you do, even if it's just a thought, they magically appear. It's kind of like having the best butler service you could ever imagine.
As a result of that unbelievable service, we've had guests come back time after time after time. Matter of fact, last year I met a gentleman and it was his 19th trip on the Rocky Mountaineer.
At an elevation of 5,332 feet, the Continental Divide marks the highest point of our journey. The boundary between Alberta and British Columbia, the Divide is a geographical phenomenon as a major watershed for two different oceans. Water to the east flows to the Atlantic, and water that flows west makes its way to the Pacific.
So this is what I love about this. It seems like within 500 miles from Vancouver, you go through all these different microclimates, the desert, the rainforest. It's awesome. And right when you get used to one, it seems like it just switches up and it's entirely different.
Well, no, you're absolutely right. It's like traveling the world all within a 2-day journey.
That's very true.
The important thing to remember, though, is with all these different temperature changes, you've got to layer.
Yes, you're right.
You've got to
I
layer.
know, and I am I in trouble? I mean, is it gonna get a lot colder?
No, we'll be okay.
Are you sure? Whoa! Wow!
I got you.
After an amazing journey through the Canadian Rockies, we arrive at our final destination on the Rocky Mountaineer, Banff, Canada's very first national park. It's time to say goodbye to some new friends that I've made from all over the world, including Randy.
How do I even begin to thank you? I just don't even know where to start.
It was absolutely our pleasure. Welcome to Banff. We hope to see you again soon.
Oh, you will.
All right.
I promise you that.
Wonderful.
Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. I'm gonna miss my time on the Rocky Mountaineer. It really was an experience of a lifetime and definitely the most incredible rail journey I've ever enjoyed. Yes, the scenery was stunning. And yes, we had the chance to see incredible wildlife. But at the end of the day, it's the people on board that makes the journey so special. Well, it's time to leave all this wonderfulness behind and begin the next chapter of my adventure. Home to bears, elk, bighorn sheep, and other local wildlife, Banff National Park encompasses 6,500 square kilometers. One of its major attractions is the iconic Banff Springs Hotel. And lucky for me, it's my home base while I explore the area. The Banff Springs Hotel is truly magical. It's no wonder it's been a royal favorite for many years. As I arrive at the hotel, the grandeur is breathtaking, and I too feel like royalty. So I'm thinking about a quick snack and an early night. However, Edward and Dawn have put out the red carpet. What's a girl to do? They had a chef from each of their restaurants, providing us samples of their delicious specialties. A well-fed crew is a happy crew.
Well, Tanya, cheers. Welcome home to Canada.
Thank you.
And what do you think of the Canadian Rockies?
I mean, it's mind-blowing. It really is. And thank you so much for this incredible reception. This is
We're so excited to welcome you. You know, the castle in the Rockies, it fits a princess like yourself. You know,
well, thank
Miss
you.
Canada, so close to being Miss World. We're just so excited.
Well, thank you
I'm not
very
making you
much.
embarrassed, am I?
A little, but that's okay. Oh.
What a perfect way to end the night. After a good night's sleep, it's rise and shine for me. First thing on the agenda here at the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel is to find out some interesting facts from the hotel historian. He's been working here for 50 years, so he's the guy to go to.
I mean, even when you just first walk into the hotel, you feel like you're just back in time. You feel like you're in this glamorous, it is like a fairy tale.
Well, it is. It gives you a sense of place, a sense of time.
Yes.
And it is historic. We've had, countless guests and visitors who have come here to celebrate honeymoons,
Can you
anniversaries.
share a few names? Are you allowed to share a few names?
Well,
Can
I think I can. We've had Indira Gandhi, Margaret Thatcher, King Hussein of Jordan, the Prime Minister of Israel, Winston Churchill. They've all graced our halls of our castle.
Marilyn Monroe?
Marilyn Monroe, yes. Talk
Really?
about Marilyn Monroe.
I just wanted to throw that in there?
Well, you know, since she is the most recognized movie star
Yes.
globally in history, she made a movie here back in 1953 and up in Jasper called The River No Return with Robert Mitchum.
Oh, yes.
And she accidentally twisted her ankle up in Jasper while filming, and then retwisted that same left ankle here, over here, 200 yards away.
So she twisted it twice.
And her boyfriend at the time, who later married her, Joe DiMaggio, the great Hall of Famer from baseball,
We know who that is, of
was
course.
staying at the hotel, concerned about his girlfriend, flew in an orthopedic surgeon from Los Angeles to
Wow.
Calgary to attend to her medical needs. So for the next 8 days, starting August the 21st, 1953, the bellboys at the bell desk
Yep.
every morning would flip a coin to see who'd be the lucky one to wheel her around in the wheelchair.
That's a great story.
If you hook your ball far enough wide on the 14th fairway here at the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, you'll find the location of Banff's first campground. Once complete with wooden floor and plumbing, it was Marilyn Monroe's changing room.
Here we are in one of the historic spots in Banff, and you just met with our historian, Dave Moberg. We're out on the beautiful golf course, but just inside of the 14th hole, we have a little historic spot about Marilyn Monroe. I found this area from my bad golfing skills, but...
Did your golf
yeah.
actually hit this? And you went,
Pretty
"Thump!"
close, pretty close.
And then you
So-
discovered it, right?
Exactly. I'm like, oh, look, history. And I'm learning and losing my golf balls. So
Wow, this is a great little spot for anybody. I mean, you know, you're on a movie set, they build you your own little hut in the middle of the woods just so that you have privacy. Yeah, they don't do that too often anymore.
Banff is one of the most beautiful places on earth. To fully appreciate its grandeur, I make my way to the top of Sulphur Mountain and get a completely different view.
Hey, that was cool. It's really a mind-blowing, majestic view. That's the word that I would say to describe this.
Its resplendency is majestic.
Resplendency.
Up here.
Is that a word, resplendency?
I don't think so.
But it's good. So what is that over there? I was checking that out a little earlier, but I don't know what it is.
That, Tanya, is one of our National Historic Sites. It's the Cosmic Ray Station.
What is a cosmic ray station?
It's a weather station.
Like a weather station?
Scientific station measuring...
Cosmic rays?
Yeah, but I'm not really sure what that is.
I don't either. So this is what you do. You take the Rocky Mountaineer train, you come all the way, you stay at the Banff Springs Hotel, and then 10 minutes later on your next day, you come up here and you experience a view of a lifetime, really.
Yeah.
There's plenty of wildlife to be seen across Western Canada. However, the grizzly bear is very elusive. Our Michelin chef, JP, is a true outdoorsman. He alerted us of a rare find. So, we're hot on the trail.
Okay, here's the deal. This is a very rare occurrence. Right now I'm in Banff National Park, and JP, actually, who's the chef on the Rocky Mountaineer, called us and told us that there was 3 grizzlies just nearby, and we've actually spotted them.
Wow, as exciting as this is, if you really want to get close to nature and, don't want to be an afternoon snack, make sure you do it the right way and check into the Chateau Lake Louise and sign up for a real nature adventure with Mike. The area is full of things to do, and Mike can hook you up. Check out these shots he took in the past few weeks on his adventures.
You really do have a job of a lifetime. I just had to say that, because this is pretty cool.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about Lake Louise and why somebody like me might want to come here, aside from everything I've seen so far.
Well, seasonally, it depends when you come. If you come in the summertime here, there's anywhere from canoeing on the lake to little strolls around the lake. You do some wonderful hiking here to other lakes like Lake Agnes up around the corner here. There's a beautiful little restaurant built at the turn of the century.
Summer, there's still snow at the top. So, I mean, I would never bring my winter coat.
Not for mid-July.
Right.
For spring, right now, spring season, definitely need a bunch of clothes for that kind of stuff.
But do you supply that?
We do. We have all the equipment people might not bring with them, from poles to packs to boots to rainwear, just in case guests don't arrive with that stuff.
So no matter what time of year you come, you guys supply everything that you need, all the gear. So you don't have to worry about that. That's huge.
In the wintertime, if they come, we have cross-country skis and snowshoes, skating. There's about 200 kilometers of cross-country ski trails right out the door.
Right.
And then 5 minutes away across the valley is one of the largest downhill ski resorts in North America.
Nature aside, the little town of Banff really makes you feel at home. Quaint stores, a local brewery that actually crafts its own beers, and authentic Rocky Mountain cuisine. The best place to savor some local home cooking is the Elk and Oarsman.
Come to Banff on the Rocky Mountaineer!
I am having such an incredible trip, and as I've said, made some great new friends in such a short time. Sadly, my adventure is coming to an end. And before I head home to California, I've got to spend a little time in a very special place, the beautiful city of Vancouver. My personal guide, Amber Sessions, gives me a whirlwind tour. First stop, the public market at Granville Island.
Okay, so we're gonna go in the public market, which is one of the major things that Granville Island is known for. And Amber's gonna take me in, take me around, we're gonna test some food and have some fun.
Show you some of my favorite spots.
This place is a foodie's utopia. Everything is organic and indigenous to Vancouver's surrounds. One local delicacy, salmon candy.
I didn't even know you could do all these things with salmon. Who knew?
There's a lot you can do with salmon.
I'm learning that. You know, it's just a hint. It's just a hint of maple, so it doesn't overpower it. It's kind of nice.
Nice, isn't it?
Okay, so here's the thing. You can go and buy your lunch at the public market and just walk right outside and enjoy this incredible atmosphere. And why did I ever leave Canada?
Vancouver is a nature lover's paradise. Just 15 minutes outside the city is where you'll find the Capilano Suspension Bridge. The natural rainforest surrounds features a cliff walk and bridge that allows you to enjoy exploring the natural canopy and waters below.
All right, so this is the cliff walk.
Exactly. It gives you the experience of being in the forest canopy and over the side of a cliff.
You know, I've traveled all around the world, and I have to say, this is one of the most spectacular things I've ever done or seen. Very cool.
If the cliff walk doesn't get your pulse racing, the suspension bridge crossing certainly will.
It's scary, isn't it? Last time I felt like this is when I had 3 margaritas. I can't believe that this entire nature center is within 15 minutes of the heart of downtown Vancouver. I mean, where else in the world are you going to find this?
From the surrounding rainforest to the mountainous peaks that border Vancouver, we take a trip on the Sky Ride to the top of Grouse Mountain.
Okay, Amber, I'm a little confused. I just got off the tram at the top of Grouse Mountain and I see people wearing ski stuff, I see people wearing shorts. I mean,
that's because there is so much to do up here. There is skiing, there is snowboarding, there is snow limo, there is hiking, there is mountaintop dining, there is helicopter tours, there's lumberjack shows, there's ziplining, there's...
Ziplining?
Yeah, ziplining. You wanna go? Let's go, come on.
There's a lot of stuff I have on right now. Knees up. Oh, wow. You gotta do this. Top of Grouse Mountain, zip line. That was a lot of fun.
Okay, all this activity is making me hungry. I hear that spot prawns are in season, and the best place to try them is in Yaletown at the Global Grill. Yum!
Hi, Tanya. Welcome to Global Grill.
Thanks. So, you know, I've heard all this talk about spot prawns. Why are they so special? Because, you know, to me, they just look like huge shrimp.
Well, essentially, they're a delicacy in the West Coast here. We're lucky in Vancouver that we're so close to the ocean where we have these products available for us.
Right.
The thing about that makes them extra special is they're only available for 6 to 8 weeks out of the year. So.
Wow. So does everybody have a competition of who can come up with the best spot prawn? Oh my God, they're alive. I didn't know that they were alive.
They're very much alive.
We need a pot of boiling water right now. Very good.
Even though I'm no chef, I still appreciate fresh ingredients. Chef Mark at the Fairmont Waterfront gives me a tour of his rooftop herb garden and introduces me to one really fresh ingredient. Very fresh.
Okay, Chef Mark, I've heard of fresh ingredients, but right in the middle of Vancouver at the Fairmont Hotel by the waterfront, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we've got things in the garden here like oregano.
There's chives.
We've got chives. We've got a bay leaf tree. We've also got some fennel.
Some mint right over here.
Yeah. And some strawberries. There is one other ingredient that you need fresh as well.
Okay, what's that?
Come with me. The last ingredient I would recommend is fresh honey.
Yeah, I'm getting that picture. All right, so what do we do now?
So what we're going to do, we're going to go into the hives. We're going to open it up.
Okay.
We'll pull out a frame and we'll have a look at the honey.
I've never done this before.
Fantastic.
And I never thought it would ever happen in downtown Vancouver.
There we go.
Ooh, oh my gosh.
So,
woo, look
as
at
you can
that.
see in here, they're just starting to fill this with honey. Take that, put him back.
No, go after him. He's the one who's doing all the work. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's crazy. It's so weird to see
So
it
now
this close.
now they're angry. They just stung me.
You got stung?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going.
That's all right. We're perfectly
That was really
fine.
awesome. That was so awesome. That was really awesome, Chef Mark.
Exploring Western Canada aboard the Rocky Mountaineer was so much more than I ever expected. Being Canadian, I've explored Canada many times before, but never quite like this. This truly was an experience of a lifetime. You know, they say happiness comes from the friendships you make, and on this trip, I've made friends for life. Thanks, Randy, for your incredible generosity, and JP, where do I start? And of course, the rest of the Rocky Mountaineer team, who behind the scenes make all of these journeys a trip of a lifetime.
I have to say this whole vacation is very personal to me. I feel like I visited my home in a whole new way. I hope you enjoyed this journey as much as I did. I'm Tanya Memme for Best Vacations. See you next time.